Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and I was thinking today about Modern Masters 3, big surprise, and a thought occurred to me. Well, you know how it's like a premium set, it's a limited set, a special set, whatever Wizards wants to call it. I forget the adjectives they use. Like legitimately, I think premium is what they refer to as from the vault. I honestly don't remember what what descriptor they call Modern Masters. Anyway, I mean, the point is, if you had in your left hand a Modern Masters 3 booster, and in your right hand you had an Aether Revolt booster, guess which one you're more excited about? And it's because of the value, the price, the guaranteed foil, everything. It's just like, I wouldn't say a better set, I wouldn't say a greater set. It's, I don't even know what to call it, a more significant set, I guess. Even the phrase like more sought after isn't necessarily true, but you guys get what I'm meaning. It's a one level higher up set. It's an Uber set. I think Uber literally means one level higher in German. Oh, and the American version of this word super, because if you think about it, it doesn't mean great. It doesn't mean the typical definitions, because the phrase superscript means above the normal script when you're typing. Oh, the more you know, the more you grow. And on my channel, you're going to get really weird, like, word history and stuff just like dropped on you without warning. So it's no surprise that it costs more. I mean, the guaranteed foil, the sheer value of an average box, I mean, everything does add up. It is appropriately costed, I think. Would it be nice if they cut it down to like $7 a booster? Yes. Should they? Yeah, probably. Except that people are clearly willing to pay the price that it is right now. But you take a regular booster box and, they cost like somewhere between like 77 to 86, depending upon what distributor you get them from. So retail is typically 100 to, I guess I'll say 142, because that's what some of the worse LGSs people have told me about charge. But hey, no matter what it is, typically 105, that's what almost all boxes sell for locally. As soon as you hit 3 digits, I mean, you don't just like walk into a store and spend like $100, just willy nilly. Like that's like a noticeable, significant amount of money to just about anyone. On the worst side, like me, for example, that is a just not gonna happen amount of money. If I had $100, I have about 100 more things I would spend it on, like paying bills and debt and going to the doctor and medication, and just, it's not gonna happen. Super, super ironic that this is coming from somebody who buys and resells between $2,000 and $10,000 worth of Magic products per quarter. But that's for resale and I'm trying to make money, and once in a while I do. So that's completely different. When it comes to just, I'm going to buy a box and open it because I like Magic and I want to build some decks. No, not going to happen. But I don't know if you've ever been to your local gaming store, assuming it's typical. If you've been there on launch day, launch morning, there is a line. I mean, like the last time I went to one at my old local gaming store, there was like 30 people in line. Some of them bought 1, 2 boxes. Couple, I think, had cases. I mean, that's pretty nuts. Like, that's not an insignificant amount of money. But I would say, even at my old local gaming store, I'm going to use that one because it had a bigger pool of players, 100 plus. 30 to 40% at least would not buy even one full booster box. They just either tried to win stuff with their old deck, traded cards from their old deck to build a new deck, that kind of stuff. Just worked it out, worked the whole economy, traded, borrowed, whatever. And that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. I promote that completely. But, if that many people, almost half, are like, no, 100 plus is too much for me to spend on basically anything right now, whether it's because they're 14 or because they got bills or, student loans and rent and, all the other adult crap. So then you move up to Modern Masters. Well, what the hell? I mean, 240 a box? And pretty much online price is going to get dang close to local price. I mean, nobody locally is going to sell it below 240 unless they really like their customers or really have a lot to clear really quickly. So that brought up an interesting point. A lot less people are going to buy like boxes for personal use without intent to, on a large scale, resell it. Or buy list it, trade it away, whatever. People are just like, no, I want the cards in it. They're going in my binder. I'm going to trade them with actual people, not just, I'm going to buy list everything I don't need and I hope I pull this. Or I'm going to sell cards until I pay for 200 and then cut it off, or pay for 150 and then keep the rest. That's more of like a financial decision, but people just like, no, I've got 242 quite literally spend. Not a lot of those people floating around, in case you didn't notice. And then I thought, well, okay, so no problem. They just buy like, I got $30 on me, I'll buy 3 boosters, because that's typically what they're sold for. Now see, that's where it gets kind of weird logically. Um, Most local gaming stores will either do 3 for $10 on standard boosters, which would be 333 a piece, give or take. Or they just sell them singles, single packs for $3.99, which is the MSRP, and I believe Walmart sells them for like $4.19. So if that's the case, well, you could get a box for probably $100 to $105 at the typical local gaming store. Or if you buy them slowly, you're actually paying quite more. I mean, you're paying like 40% more because $3.99 times 36 equals the MSRP of $142 per box. So you're actually getting a worse deal for buying less. Well, with Modern Masters, you're actually getting a exactly equal deal for buying less. So why would anybody ever buy a box? Why would their cutoff be just because 24? I mean, because it's easy to carry. What if you're like, I don't feel like spending 240, I feel like spending 170, give me exactly 17 boosters. Like, nobody does that. If they get close to one entire box, they just buy the entire box. I've always found that really strange. So there is no motivation to subdivide a box because you won't gain any benefit. It's actually a very slight detriment because you don't have a nice box to carry around the boosters in. But then you go back to standard and you're clearly demotivated from buying less than a box because you're paying more, right? Well, if you only have $10 a week spending money, cool. You go to every F&M. I'm going to magically pretend you also have money to sign up for F&M, and then you buy 3 boosters every single week. You're getting ripped off, but, well, not really ripped off, just you're not getting the best deal, but that's how much money you have every week, whatever. So I think people are kind of okay with that, but then, oh wait, that's right, in standard they sell other products. The Fat Pack. No, I'm not going to call it a bundle. Stop telling me to, wizards. This is a Fatties for Life channel. We will never forget. R.I.P. Fat Packs 2016. So if you can pick up a Fat Pack for like 35 to 40, or actually, well, $41.99, so $42 MSRP now. And that's like, oh, I don't have enough money to buy a whole booster box, but oh, this product's cool too. And now here's the thing. This is where it gets even weirder. Super late public service announcement, if you didn't hear, they now come with 10 booster packs instead of 9. So real simple, $42 divided by 10 packs, $4.20 per pack. Terrible value, right? Well, the land pack, I mean, it depends if you want to say retail, buy list, or eBay price, but I think I'll lean towards eBay price, maybe low eBay. The land pack's worth about $3. So, okay, 42 minus 3. There you go. So you're at, how did I do that wrong on my calculator? There we go. $39. Why am I even using a calculator? That wasn't hard. Oh, now you get a die, which I guarantee is worth 50 cents on a buy list, $1 on the open market, and $2 retail. So we'll take off $1. So now you're at $38. And, oh, that's right. The empty Fat Pat box on the open market, shipping is a little bit of a thing. So believe it or not, they sell for about $6 or $7 on eBay. I know, I was shocked too. But that's because they're insanely difficult to ship. They're 7.4 ounces. So you basically have to put them in just like a bubble mailer, hope they don't get crushed, and ship them out first class for like $3. So we'll just say they're worth $3 on the open market because that's a little bit more fair. Well, isn't that interesting? Now we're at, oh yes, $35. So you divide that by 10, $3.50 each. That's pretty much lower than what you're paying for single individual booster packs. So if you count the value of everything else you're getting, like if you were to have to buy for close to wholesale-ish online retail a 525 card holder known as a Fat Pack empty box, you had to buy a spin down for $1 on the open market, and you'd have to buy them in bulk to get that price, by the way. And then you were to have to buy either the lands individually or the whole land pack together. So yeah, I mean, if you needed those things and you bought them, you just got a deal on the booster packs because you would have had to buy all the other stuff anyway. So if you don't buy a booster box and you buy a Fat Pack instead, you actually just saved money by scaling down. So it's actually like you're paying a premium to get 36 boosters instead of 10. So that's kind of weird, and you kind of get similar value from the Deck Builder's Toolkit, the Planeswalker decks. I mean, those especially. Oh my god. You can sell the front Planeswalker for about $7.50 usually. They're 15 MSRP, so you're already at $8. There's 2 boosters in it, $3.99 a piece. You're at $0. And then you've got the deck, the whole deck, and anything in it, some, $1, $2 rares. And a lot of the uncommons are extremely unique, and they could be buy listed for like 80 cents. So if you spend money on a Planeswalker deck, you're actually making money, sort of. That's kind of why I wish I would have ordered more in the first place, because Wizards has been packing more powerful Planeswalkers into them than the actual standard boxes. So in standard, the less you spend, the smaller you go, the better value you get, which is like, what the hell? So I thought, well, I mean, they're kind of doing that on purpose and they're kind of not. They are, these lesser products, literally not one person ever would buy them if there wasn't perceived value in them above the alternatives. I don't think that a product can just ride on, oh, look, it's a half box, it's a quarter box, if they made something like that. I'm going to buy a quarter box even though it's 10 cents more per booster because I just literally don't have $105. I don't think a product could survive on that. People would eventually start saving up and just buy the damn box. So this brings me to an interesting idea. Why don't they have a Modern Masters 3 Fat Pack? Let's just say it would cost around, you'd have to really scale it down. You couldn't put 10 in it. We'll just say like about double, because, it's about double a standard anyway. So we'll just say it's like a $80, $90 Fat Pack. Maybe even like 75. So let's say for 75, you get 6 boosters in it, which actually then, there you go, 6 boosters. You could do a fake sealed event. Or, okay, a fake pre-release. It would actually be a sealed event because it's sealed. I mean, the set was designed for drafting, but still, I'm all about sealed, so that would be way cooler. So, ta-da, the LGS could sell more and, get more interest by saying, hey, we're going to hold a sealed event. Yeah, it's like $100 to enter, but if they sold that for $75, you're already short $15 in value. So the question arises, what would they put in there? And you got to think, well, a limited edition die that you can't get with the box. That would be cool, like an MM3 die. I think that would be exceptionally cool. I mean, because where else are you going to get it? And who buys them? They're, quote, worse value. That would probably be a $4 or $5 die. Hey, it works for From the Vault. I do believe almost every one of those came with a die, if not all of them, and those are worth quite a bit. So you got that down. Maybe, maybe bring back the paper deck boxes. I mean, like, why would you carry around a modern deck in a crappy little paper deck box? It doesn't quite match the product, but if it had custom artwork, somebody would want it. I mean, you could just assemble them and leave them on your shelf looking pretty. It makes a nice little like panorama. They could, of course, obviously have the poster wrapping around the Fat Pack, which, by the way, I forgot to mention is worth about $1.50 on the open market. So there goes my other calculations. That means it's like $3.20 something per booster. But anyway, if they did that in Modern, I mean, you could have all the like star cards with all the artwork mixed, all like posing for a photo or something like that. Or like Snapcaster Mage fighting with Grizzlebrand, or something outrageous that would never happen in the lore, but it would make a damn good poster. Boom, added value. Ta-da. And then, a book maybe showing off the history or the lore of the top mythics or something like that, or just whatever, just like a cool book, just like they do right now. Also, those books are completely worthless on the open market on day one, unfortunately. I think still the Modern Masters one would be there. So do we already have $15? Yeah, probably. But then the land pack. What if it was basic land reprints from all the sets involved? They could be pseudo-random or actually random or not random at all, completely pre-produced, and nobody would really care between those options. I personally would love a buttered popcorn planes from M13 because like the entire world is sold out of them, unless there are occasionally really clueless vendors who don't realize why somebody would possibly want all the same one, that are just like, we'll sell you any land from all of M13, and they don't know what they have. But other than that, pretty hard to get my hands on those. Plus, really dishonest cheater players like to play with swamps that are extremely pale, extremely green, and have a ton of flowers in them and basically look like a forest, so that when they tap it for green and hope you don't notice, then you might not notice. Yeah, people do that. I've caught 4 people doing it. You'll never guess which LGS they played at. But sometimes people really miss the basic lands, and they're so not worth selling that nobody sells them. So if you wanted a land from M11 that looked really cool, or a land from Scars of Mirrodin, just a basic land, you can't get it. So a pack of 80 lands with all the different artworks, and a couple repeats maybe, that would be some hot stuff. I mean, you could just take some of the, most popular artwork and just print just that. Now, they could also pull out the nuclear option, which at this point, they're launching nukes like it's giving out candy at a parade. But full art lands. Like I said, they used to be special. Not so much anymore. But they could just have a custom one-of-a-kind full art land. There you go. Put it in a land pack. Not only would people then buy a box and a fat pack just to get the lands because they're cool as hell and there's not that many flying around because, once again, it's a second-rate product that people perceive does not have as much value even though they're clearly wrong. Well, so you'd be causing more sales to happen, and then people who are like, I don't have $240, I have 75. Boom, they pick up this amazing product with all these little side collectors stuff. And let me throw this one out there because, oh my God, do they need to do this, okay? I think from what I've heard that the staff, the only reason they haven't done this is the management staff at Wizards is incredibly arrogant. If somebody else thinks of it first or fixes a problem like foils that don't bend, they will just on principle now not copy them because then they would be seen as following. And in their opinion, they're the biggest game in the world. They're the leaders. At least that's the rumors that I've heard about their personalities there. So, Pokemon in their version of the almost sort of fat pack that comes with 4 boosters. Guess what's in the center there? Nice little miniature figure. In fact, put it on a 1x1 base. Ta-da, tabletop anything. I mean, you might not want to be having a Pikachu run around in Dungeons & Dragons. Ask the DM, though. They might be cool with that. My group would just laugh their asses off. In fact, I believe one time, instead of an Archer, I just threw out the Starship Voyager. But in Gamma World, if you've ever played that one, which is also Wizards product, D&D knockoff, they just don't even make figures. So if you find a Pokemon that looks kind of like something from Gamma World, go for it. So yeah, a little miniature that costs almost nothing to produce. I mean, the paint job and that kind of stuff and the plastic mixing, not the easiest. 3D printing, not the cheapest in bulk. Not very efficient, not very fast. But they're still not that expensive to produce. I mean, come on. So they could make like a collectible quality one, maybe, an inch tall, inch base, throw it into the fat pack, and I'm talking about standard and Modern Masters, but if they held it to just Modern Masters and you had to buy them blind, oh my God, would there be a market for that? I mean, some of the Pokemon ones you could sell for $4, easy. Some of them are even like $7 minus shipping because you don't buy them in bulk. So if they took like the 3 chosen artworks on the front and made a miniature of it and you didn't know which one you were going to get, people would buy them until they got the one they want or they'd trade or, it's just added value, and it's on the backs of collectors, which is kind of their theme, the whole masterpiece thing. Let's make money, but not force anybody to spend more. It's completely optional, and we'll just collect money and shift it and have it subsidized by the collectors. And collectors spend money because it's collectibles. They don't like being forced to buy, fetch lands to win the game and to actually play it. But they have no problem dropping even more money on just a collectible to complete their collection, look cool on a desk or a shelf or whatever. So adding miniatures to the fat packs, especially Modern Masters if they were to make one, that would be brilliant. It would be such a good idea. I can't even think of anything else they could throw in there besides some kind of food item, some kind of edible object that would add more value. Heck, if they did a crossover with Snickers, crossover promotion, and threw a Snickers bar inside of every single fat pack, and then they'd obviously have to rename it the fat pack, even I'd be more likely to buy it. I mean, you get cards and food. In fact, if they had sweet and sour chicken or like orange chicken in an MRE with the chemicals in the bottom that you just like add water and then it cooks it or heats it up, oh my God. They could call it like the Magic the Gathering F&M Survival Pack, and it would be like a hot self-cooking meal along with like a fat pack worth of cards. Wizards, I'm not even going to patent or trademark that or any of that. If you want to do that, just do it. I need some sweet and sour chicken in my fat packs. Barbecued ribs in there? Barbecued ribs? I mean, come on. I mean, they're getting creative with these MREs, man. You could get probably like a build your own taco bar if they tried hard enough. Plus, get this one. They're trying to push long-term investors out of the market. Well, guess what? Guess what has an expiration date? an MRE. So, oh, you want to hold that fat pack for 10 years and try and sell it for 150 bucks because now it's like Scars or Cold Snap where it's worth a fortune? Oh, sorry, the whole inside is covered in disgusting mold and when you open it, you'll throw up all over the place. Oh, that's a shame, investors. See, this fits so perfectly with what Wizards is doing lately. Should they make a fat pack with food in it? Yes. Did this video go completely off the rails? Yes. Should they make a fat pack in Modern Masters? Absolutely, and that's really the point I was trying to make. Now, if you'll excuse me, I just made myself really hungry talking about delicious food. But what do you guys think? Should they have a Modern Masters fat pack for like 75 bucks, throw 6 boosters in there, and add all these other like cool stuff, cool lands, cool land packs, the poster, limited edition die, maybe even make it clear because those BFZ ones, honestly, those dice are worth about $5 a piece, no joke. Should they do that? And if they did, would you buy it? And are you one of the people where you wish you could buy a whole box of Modern Masters, but you can't? And then are you like, oh no, fat pack would be stupid, that's still too much, why would I buy that? I'm just gonna buy as many loose boosters for 10 a piece as I want. Like, do you think it's a bad idea? So let me know down in the comments section, and I will see you guys next video.